to engage. Time on target. 5 mics. Out.
Be careful.
What? Pissing off people? We don't do that on Crosstabs.
The boomer hippies are upset at us, I think.
Yes, I heard, David. I heard Representative Gomberg's not a fan. I mean, you got to have a little bit of fun in life. I mean, my gosh,
Even the boomer hippies need their own defenders as well. I mean, they don't. This is America. You get representation. That's the hallmark of America.
A lot of the boomers that I know, they got senses of humor, but apparently they don't when it comes to ice. But apparently, I don't know. Who knows? Speaking of, like we were just talking about, like all the talk with transportation is really kind of going to be. Well, it took over the end of last session and a long session. Apparently, it's going to be the talk of short session. We just can't let it go, right? I mean, Oregonians, we don't want to pay for roads, but we want our roads plowed. But we're not sure we want Rose Quarter. We want to finish Abernathy Bridge, and nobody can figure out what I-5 is going to cost us. Because did you see that headline about during that meeting? They kept asking, like, give us a number on I-5, and nobody would give them a number.
I don't know why you would at this point if you work for ODOT. Because one, you don't even know if you have a job. Two, if you want to be the next director, you don't want to say the wrong thing, right? So, I mean, there's no good reason to. And Washington's just going to get more upset at us again for continuing to fail at this. How many times has Washington funded the I-5 bridge and Oregon's been like, what? No. And so, I mean, we're probably the problem child as it relates to them. Here's the thing about transportation. One, first of all, huge shout out to Representative Deal, Senator Starr, Jason Williams, and their committee that put together just an incredible effort on the signature front, frankly unheard of in the modern era. They might dethrone Bill Sizemore as the best signature collectors of their era. And so that's huge. And hats off to them and everybody who participated on all of that. I think now the real question is like, what's next? And I think that is, we saw, the last couple of days, couple of different press releases going back and forth, because I don't think, I don't think everybody knows what's next. That's still up in the air in short session.
Well, and I think what we got, so here's Representative Brees Iverson, Owens, and Senator McClain, came out with their letter, and what they did is put down a marker and just said, you better not shut down our maintenance stations in Eastern Oregon. I mean, I kind of think that was the gist of what they were trying to get after, and you have emergency funds to make sure that doesn't happen during the winter, right? I mean, that's what everybody over here cares about. And then you have Rep. Deal, Senator Starr, everybody else kind of saying ODOT's got to reprioritize all their spending, right? So you have that. You kind of have those two gauntlets thrown down, and we've heard nothing from the Democrats. Nothing from, you're right, DEI should go away. We can find $60 million there. We could not do the Rose Quarter. They'll come up with things like, well, we can't use that money because that money's put over in this bucket, and we can't use that money for maintenance, right? Which is all you and I both know is BS. They can figure out how to do it. If they can figure out how to do anything legislatively, you make the laws. So
the color of the money does matter, whether it's other funds, federal funds, general fund, fees, but all money's fungible, right? So the more other funds you bring in that can pay for something that was general fund, the more general fund you free up to pay for something else. So it both does matter and doesn't matter. Right. And so I think that's the thing where it's like, you can't just walk in and say, we can spend whatever we want on anything. No, because at a certain point, you're, the Umpqua Transit District and you're committing fraud. Right. So there's limits to what you can do. But within those limits, I think there's quite a bit more flexibility than they'll let on sometimes. Sometimes they'll use the color of money as an excuse as why they can't do things. And sometimes it's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. It doesn't really matter where the money comes from. And so that's, I think, the key here is Democrats are going to have to be more flexible. And one of the things that they laid down as a marker, Democrats did at the beginning of negotiating of transportation, was they said, we're not going to spend general fund on transportation. And that's why they refused to spend emergency funds. And I think from day one, Republicans, have been willing to deal on a lot of the elements that they don't want to do, like a gas tax increase and fee increases. And Democrats haven't been willing to relent on some of these other things like a general fund. And now they're going to be forced, I think, to do that. And they should, because ultimately, I think Oregonians have said that we want, if something passed with bipartisan support, I don't think it's going to get referred, even if Oregonians don't like paying higher taxes. But Democrats refused to pass something with bipartisan support. They sent it out. The signatures got collected. It's going to get blocked, probably.
Yeah.
It'll be blocked at least until the election, if not totally blocked by the voters. And so now Democrats are going to have to come to the table. And the question is like, are they willing to do that? Or are they, they need to have this mourning period for their tax bill. Obviously, I understand it's one of the stages of grief. They've got to go through it. It's really unfortunate they have to do it during the holidays. I feel bad, but it is what it is.
Well, and we know that there was a lot of Democrats that were, I wouldn't say against the gas fund. They were uneasy with the process and how it all got pulled together, and they really didn't like to have to vote yes anyways, right? So I think they were kind of pushed into a corner to have to vote yes and partly because Republicans pushed them in a corner.
Anessa Hartman was a good example of that, where she and other Democrats, probably Mark Meek and others, all had ideas about stuff they wanted to do on transportation, but those things got shut down for various logistical and political reasons. And we talked about that at length in those episodes where we interviewed the different folks on the gas tax issue, Javity and Hartman and those guys, right? And so there was way more room for this stuff, but the leadership isn't kind of allowing that to happen. And they're kind of dictating terms, whether it's coming from the union or the governor or the ledge leadership, right? It's kind of very top down. This has to be and is going to need to be a bottom up solution where the leaders kind of either need to convene the bottom up solution and empower them, or they got to get out of the way.
Yeah. Well, the only problem now I see for Republicans is they definitely created some leverage for leadership, right? To have conversations about stuff. So they're definitely going to be allowed in the room. But the problem is, if you come up with a different funding solution that includes any sort of new tax, Republicans clearly can't vote for that. So that's kind of creates a little bit more of a problem. So I think really what's going to happen is I think my solution, I don't have a solution, but my solution to what's going to happen is they're going to figure out how do you just fund through the rest of 27, the budget through June of 27. You're going to say, okay, how do we fund things through there? And then we have to go back to the drawing board in the long session and just put everything back on the table and start over from scratch again. It's the only way I see it moving forward. So anyway,
I think that's right, because you do have to figure out how to fill your short-term gap. And I think the new interim director will bring quite a bit of cuts and reductions to the table. But I think that as long as there's a good faith effort on that front, there has to be a good faith effort from Republicans to help find the rest of the dollars in the budget somewhere through other cuts of things, probably that we like, in order to keep core infrastructure and core, I would say, I don't know the cost of plowing the roads versus like doing something that's important on the roads in Portland. But I would guess it's kind of spendy. It's a lot of miles. It's a lot of people and all that stuff. So like there's going to have to be some pain on the Republican side too. But the key is let's make this a shared pain and shared benefit as opposed to one-sided. And I think that's what we got to avoid going forward.
Reagan, that's what makes good policy. You got to be bipartisan in this world.
Bipartisan. Good policy is better than good politics. And I think that's the thing where Republicans and Democrats get tripped up is they look for the good politics instead of the good policy. And good policy will often make it look like you lose the political side of things, but really you actually benefit from doing the right thing and fixing people's problems, I think.
Very well stated, Reagan. Very well stated.
Well,
All right, so hey, we're going to end the year with this podcast, and it's going to be a fairly short one because you know what, you got Christmas shopping to do. I'm sure you got stuff going on this weekend, and I've
haven't even
of
started
course I
Christmas
haven't
shopping
done
yet.
anything yet. You haven't started yet, Reagan?
Basically not. I've got a couple of things, but yeah, I got it's there's still plenty of time.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, Reagan is going to make a hot cocoa cheesecake dip.
Oh,
Apparently,
that's
I was
done.
just
Yeah,
told.
it looks horrendous, but it tastes delicious. It doesn't
I
look
don't know.
pretty
That
at
looks
all.
pretty good to me. I just saw a photo.
It just mine won't look that pretty, but it will taste as good. I had some, and it's very, very good.
Reagan, that's what I'm known for is my my throw stuff in a pot dinners. Let me tell you, that was
Nice.
I wooed Vicky with my shit on a shingle, as they say in the army. My cooking abilities. So to have fun, no yelling from the. If you want to be on the podcast, be on the podcast.
Peanut gallery.
Yeah, right. Over there yelling. Probably. Yeah, I had to mute myself a couple of times. She was yelling at us, talking about transportation.
My kids are here too, so I'm muting as
Oh,
they
no
come
worries.
ask me for things.
All right, so we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have the first ever Tabby Awards. Yay! And we'll expand this list. We're gonna do a better job of like tracking things next year. The good part is it's an election year next year, so we get to have best campaign, worst campaign kind of thing. So we'll have some fun. But we have a link on our website on crosstabs.studio. So go there. Hopefully it'll be in your link and the show links and all that sort of stuff if Reagan and I did it correctly. But we want to hear what you guys think. So we have a few categories we put in there. Legislative Rookie of the Year. So we've added a few, and we also are willing to take some other ones. So the Flip Flopper of the Year, we have one nominee, Rep. Cyrus Javity.
I'm sure there's other people who are qualified on like an issue front. That's just the only one
Yeah.
I could think of in the moment. So anyway, that we have other on all of this.
Yes.
These are all just some of our best guesses or suggestions that we got. The Grift Giver of the Year. I added Portland Preschool for All because what a mess that is.
That's a good
And
one.
then you can suggest your own award and or nominees for different issues. And then we're also just taking a quick straw poll on governor and who you would vote for. I think it's going to be really cool. The Tabbers, our Crosstabs listeners, will vote on the Tabby Awards. And then in the new year, we will announce all the winners or close to the new year, sometime in there. Listen, we don't know. We've never done this before, but I think it's fun. I think people will enjoy it. I hope people approach this with the fun that is intended. This is not, an award to help people win or lose campaigns. It's not meant it's really meant to just celebrate and enjoy, the legislature, the building, the political sphere that we all deal in, because we need a bit more of fun in our lives. So it's just for fun, guys. Don't take it seriously. It's just for fun.
Please don't take it seriously.
We have to put the disclaimer up front, Brian, if you still have that recorded.
No, I'm recording it. Yes, please don't take us seriously.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, any final send off for 2025? What was your best moment of 2025?
Oh, I didn't even prepare for that, Brian. I
know it's ad hoc.
I have no idea. My brain is empty. It is fried.
I was going to say, when your kid was
week
born.
Of my life.
Maybe your kid was born? Yeah,
absolutely. January 22nd, Owen Gary Canope. And he's now almost 11 months and as active as ever.
My thing of the year I think, the legislative session was fairly decent up until the end, like it normally is. And then I think it was my favorite yet worst moment of the year was the transportation special session. I think that was the boondoggle of all boondoggles that I've ever seen, and just a failure of everything. I don't even know. Like, I think that was just the worst September ever because people couldn't do anything, and it was just weird as all get out. And then it ended with a referral at the end of the day, which I think has to be probably one of the best moments, and we can end it on that, is that regardless of how they did it and the speed at which they got the 200,000 signatures is insane. And
Truly.
that to me is exciting for Republicans and terrifying for Democrats, because the ability to refer is going to be insane.
We closed the year with the momentum, and so if you're a Republican, so yes, I sent you this clip. This is how I feel about short session.
Okay, you ready?
Special session.
Yeah, it's retarded, and we are all more retarded for having heard it.
That was Ben Shapiro at Turning Point USA calling out Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson for being crazy conspiracy theorists, which I think is hilarious. And anyway, he had a really good speech. I'll send you the link. People can go watch it if they want, but he's holding the crazy people on the right accountable, and it's time for it. But anyway, yes, special session. That says it all. It was retarded. We're all more retarded for having to have done it. And so anyway, looking forward to 2026, lots of great and terrible things that can happen in 2026. And let's see how many of them we get to talk about.
Right on. Well, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Have a great holiday time off. Enjoy the kids and opening gifts. And mine will probably sleep in until 10:30 because they don't get up for crap anymore. So have a good time. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.